So I'm making this video specifically to say hello and thank you to all of my new subscribers. Just over a week ago, I uploaded my second YouTube video ever. At the time I uploaded, I had a total of 1 subscriber. And so I figured that if my second video was just as successful as my first, I might get another subscriber, maybe 2, maybe I'd have a total of 3. Well, as of today, we are at 82 subscribers strong on this channel, and I can't thank you all enough for joining. I know this is still obviously a very obscure, basically unknown channel, but guys, I cannot tell you how lonely it is to sit there and feel like you're talking to an empty room. When I conceived this channel, I knew that things would obviously have to start slow. I mean, nothing happens overnight, but I can tell you that there's a huge difference in my level of motivation now that I know I'm not writing episodes for just 1 or 2 people. As much as I truly am thankful for my first 1 or 2 people, shout out to Zach Bandera if he's watching. So again, thank you. You really cannot know how grateful and happy I am to have you all on board now. As promised, I'm working on a series of upcoming episodes that will take a deep dive into the technology behind Cardano. Out there in the real world, guys, I work full-time as a scientist myself, so I can definitely appreciate the academic rigor that seems to be going into Cardano. What this also means, though, is that my personal schedule tends to stay pretty full. I'm striving for a weekly release schedule for my videos, but I think probably more realistically, you can expect updates from me maybe every 10 days or so. Please also know that when I work on these episodes, I'm doing a good bit of background research. I'm also taking the time to organize and illustrate my thoughts in ways that I hope will bring a high level of focus and clarity and make these productions that much more useful and enjoyable for everybody to watch. I am striving for the first Cardano installment to be ready in the next few days. I think this Sunday would be the latest that it gets uploaded. Don't hold me to that, but I think that would be the latest. In that upcoming episode, I'm going to tell you why I think proof of stake is something that we desperately need in the cryptocurrency space, and frankly, why it might actually be inescapable, why it might actually be something that's ultimately inevitable. From there, I'm going to talk about, in basic terms, the logic behind the Bitcoin proof of work consensus mechanism, how proof of stake works, some of the problems with proof of stake, and then how Cardano solves those problems. I'm also potentially working on an angle where I'll compare Cardano and Ethereum, how they both handle proof of stake, and maybe even talk a little bit about EOS. In the meantime, I'm also thinking about the bigger picture here. I'm thinking about exactly what kind of channel I want this to be. I like to take special reports, like the one from Electric Capital, the one from Arcane Research before, and do my own sort of like deep analyses on them, which can be useful for some of us from a market watching standpoint. But I want to be able to do more than just that sort of like fundamental analysis on this channel. I'm not really interested in doing technical analysis, not only because TA is more of a time sensitive thing, but also because, you know, as useful as it can be if you're a swing trader or a day trader, personally, I find it kind of a little bit boring. And I want this channel to be more of an interesting watch and, you know, not necessarily the place you're going to figure out your day-to-day trading activities. I'll probably, you know, talk about price action from time to time, but just to be clear, I'm not really interested in breaking out charts and working on fine details of what your next trade should be. So I'm wanting to focus on things like fundamental analysis. I want to do deep dives into technology like I've got coming up for Cardano. Then potentially I might want to do some installments that are just more newsy. They're like my thoughts and opinions on current crypto events. And also just maybe I might want to do the occasional like sort of philosophical installment where I can talk more about the big picture, talk about life, talk about world events, that sort of thing. But of course, always relating things back, finding a sort of crypto angle, you know, finding ways that it's relevant to you. But I want to know what interests you, my gentle viewer, so I'm going to attach a poll to this video and hopefully get some feedback from everybody, all the guys and gals out there, on the things that you're all most interested in seeing. As always, of course, don't be afraid to leave me some comments with your ideas in that department as well. Finally, I did a weird little animation that I'm going to run at the very end of some of my videos. I haven't quite decided how often, but if you stick around to the very end of this video, you'll get to see it. If you could have a look at that and tell me what you think, I'd also appreciate that. Guys, the most valuable currency is time. So valuable is time that it is, I argue, the underlying value proposition for all other currencies. All of that is just to say thank you so much for spending some of your hard-earned time with me, and I look forward to seeing all of you in my next update. Until then, peace out.